How close is your Memphis team to being a national power?
No, thank you very much, first of all. It was big for our team, our school, and our city. I think we're very close. I think we're a couple players away, maybe one player away with the nucleus that I have right now of being a national powerhouse again. We're on our way. We're on our way.
So, Coach, give us a thought about Gonzaga, now the just runaway favorite to win it all in college basketball. Shannon will vouch for that, his pick.
Yeah.
And yet we look at Gonzaga, and the top two scorers are a senior and a sophomore. Obviously, Jalen Suggs looks like he could be a one-and-done and an NBA star at some point. But the traditional one-and-done powerhouses, the Kentuckys and Dukes, have fallen on hard times. I'm looking at your Memphis roster from this past year. You win the NIT, and your top five scorers are a junior and four sophomores. So are we seeing that the better way, the quicker way to become a power is with older veteran players as opposed to the one-and-done, NBA-bound superstar?
Well, first of all, Gonzaga, welcome. Incredible. I think they have two pros at every spot. At every position, they have two pros, so they're really good. And to answer your question, I think it is more of a veterans, style of play on this level. I think young guys can win games. I just don't know if they can win championships. Yeah. And you got to have older guys on your team. I think the one and dones all going together. Kentucky's figured that out. Duke has figured that out. I mean, you got to be older. You need those veterans out there to kind of calm things down. And right now, Baylor, Houston, Gonzaga, and these teams, they're older.
Yep.
But you're not going to turn a guy down. He said, look, Penny, I want to come to Memphis State. And he's a five-star guy. He says, but I'm going to be one and done. You're not going to turn him down, are you?
Absolutely not. I mean, you're not going to turn down a one and done, but you're not going to build your entire team around one and dones.
Right.
I think that day might be over, but you're definitely going to take one and done players for sure.
So just for our younger viewers, Penny, who don't remember you that well as a player, just for those who don't, you were LeBron to me before LeBron. And in your fifth year, you suffered a horrible knee injury, and it really took you out of the rest of your career. So can you reflect on how your career was going versus what you've seen LeBron and his all-time great durability be able to achieve as he goes into his 18th year?
Well, first of all, Skip, you put me in hot cotton. That's my guy, LeBron, man. I love that guy. I don't really know what to say about him, man. He's phenomenal. And, obviously my career was going on a plateau before I got injured. And when I got injured, I wasn't as explosive as I needed to be. But watching LeBron is almost incredible. His IQ of the game, his durability, his will to win, his leadership, his understanding of the game, when to turn it on, when to allow guys to play. I mean, what more can I say? I just think that he's phenomenal, man. And just to still be rolling at his age right now with a freak injury, a week ago or so, that derailed him. But he doesn't get injured. He doesn't lose. And he's just, he's the man. But for me, I just look at him on any team that he's on, they're a favorite to win it, no matter what.
How did your game compare to his?
Well, I think we both have the vision. Obviously, we were matchup problems. I was a matchup problem at the point guard being 6'7", and most of the guards were way smaller than me. The versatility, with the basketball, of understanding the IQ, of understanding where guys are supposed to be at all times, making the right pass at the right time, getting guys going that that need to get going, that they're going to help you win the ball games. It's just understanding every detail at all time, at every minute of all the 48 minutes while you're out there on the court.
Penny, you played in the era with Michael Jordan. You were smack dab when he came back, and you beat him in '95 when he first got back, and then they run off three straight. And the comparison is always going to be there between LeBron and Mike. What do you see as some of the similarities, and what do you see are the biggest differences between the two?
I say the similarities, they're both winners, for sure. Whatever team you put them on, you're going to win. Obviously, to me, Michael Jordan had that more aggressive mentality of he wanted to just take your heart out. He just kind of wanted to just break your heart out and just feed it to you. And LeBron is just going to be more of the orchestrator of it. Like I can take your heart out, and I can also have my teammates take your heart out. Michael Jordan wasn't going to allow his teammates to take your heart out. He was going to do it. But LeBron is so great at making everybody feel like they're the man, even though he knew that he was. And Michael wasn't caring about that. He was just going to I'm going to get the win, and I don't care what you feel about it or anybody else feels about it.
So wait a second. I think you just said, Coach, that Jordan is the GOAT.
You, right? I didn't hear that, Penny.
I heard that.
Did you hear that? Did you say that, Penny? I didn't hear that.
You know, honestly, I hate to compare the guys, but right now, to me, Michael is the GOAT, and LeBron is not far behind. That's just my opinion.
That's good enough for me.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
Shannon.
is it?
Is that good enough for me?
It's not good enough for you.
I mean, you say he's not far behind.
And LeBron is my favorite player. LeBron is my favorite player, so it's you know, it's tough for me.
Penny, had you and Shaq stayed together, how many championships could you have done what Kobe and Shaq did? Were you guys on the cusp, barring the injury? Obviously, all bets are off. You get injured, that derailed everything. But had you and Shaq stayed together and you not get injured, could you and Shaq have been Kobe and Shaq?
Yeah, for sure. And that's no knock. Kobe, unbelievable warrior, was destined for greatness. Great player, up there as far as the GOATs, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I know that if I would have stayed healthy and Shaq would have stayed in Orlando, we would have at least had 1 or 2 championships. I'm sure of that.
When you got injured, did you know it was going to be as debilitating, or did you think you were just going to bounce back? What the injury? What was so significant about it that caused you to not to be the Penny that we remember pre-injury?
Man, that injury derailed me pretty badly. But what happened was I had a microfracture before microfractures were really, you know, big.
Right.
It was like I was one of the first guys to get a microfracture. When I got the microfracture, I played with a torn meniscus the entire series against the Spurs and the Lakers the year that they won, the first championship that they won together in 2000. And my knee was, I took a cortisone shot before every game pretty much just to make it through the game. And after the season, the doctor told me that he was going to try a surgery that he thought that would prolong my career and extend my career. And it really I agreed to it, found out later that I probably should not have done it. And that's what just took me out, man. It went to bone on bone in that area, and it shut me down.
So what gives you more satisfaction, coaching or playing? Because I know it leaves you frustrated you didn't get to finish your career with a flourish.
Yeah, but honestly, coaching, because I'm pouring back into young men with more than just on the court and off the court. I enjoy playing. I love the game of basketball, but basically pouring into these young men is to me is more fun than when I play, because I feel like I'm affecting lives that way.
Penny, there's a saying there in the profession that says those that can do, those that can't teach. But you could do, and you became a teacher, you became a coach. Why is it so difficult for great players to also be great coaches?
I think it's difficult for great players to be great coaches because of their mindset of they think everybody's supposed to be perfect. And in this game, you got to understand how to treat the kids. You got to wear a lot of hats. You can't be hard on them. You got to be caring. You got to be understanding. And that's not how we were taught. You know, in our old school days, it said you just do.
Right.
And I think that's what happens with great players. They want you to just do, and they're not trying to meet the players 50-50. It's not one-sided. And that's what's so difficult about great players coaching and trying to be successful.
So you understand that he's not Penny Hardaway. He's not LeBron James. It's okay. I'm going to have to, like you said, some guys you can get on. Some guys you're like, hey, bro, come on, man. I need you in this situation. Some guys you be funny with. Some guys you just like, bro, what are you doing?
Right. You have to be that way. You cannot be old school to where it's rule with the iron fist. You'll lose your entire team. And I see that happening. That's happening all the time. You have to be stern, but you have to be fair. But you also have to let guys know that you love them and that you care about them. And that's what they really want.
So back to the one and dones. You very briefly had a one and done a year ago. For 3 games, you had James Wiseman with Golden State now, 2nd overall pick. He's had his ups and he's had his downs. How do you evaluate his progress so far?
I evaluate a guy that I had in high school his junior year and made huge strides. I left his senior year and he played really well. Coming into college, he was only allowed to play 3 games and he didn't stay here long. He ended up leaving, going to Miami and working out and training and getting ready, getting drafted and playing within 2 months or 3 months. I look at a kid that really has the potential to be great, but just needs the time to learn how to do it. And that's what he's going through right now. Just it's a learning curve. He's young. He just turned 20 years old. He's not had enough basketball yet to be as dominant as he wants to be, but he's going to be very dominant. And the nerves kick in, the pressure kicks in of wanting to do well, and he just needs more basketball under his belt. He's going to be fine.
Are we asking too much of these young players now? Because it seems like now we ask the young players to come in and automatically contend for a title. Are we asking too much of the Zions or the young Jason Tatums or these young players and not letting them mature? Because I think Magic Johnson ruined it. Because Magic come in as a rookie, he win the title, and then he comes in and wins the NBA title. Now they expect everybody to do that, Penny.
Magic was special. Another one of my favorite players. But honestly, I think we are putting too much pressure on these kids because they've been allowed to have things their way for so long, and then you pressure them to do something different. They buck the system. They don't respond properly to it. And if you want to get the best out of them, you got to allow them to go at their pace. I mean, you can push them, but you got to still allow them to grow.
All right, Penny, thank you so much for joining us. And it's just so special to see you having such success coaching and enjoying it.
you.
And congrats to Memphis again. And everyone, please light it up blue by wearing blue tomorrow and use the hashtags Light It Up Blue and World Autism Awareness Day.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.